Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. You are here with the boys of Poi N Soy, and Happy New Year to everyone. I believe this is the first post-credit of 2023, so welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining us on this new year, starting fresh. Same guys, same shit, different year.
Same Jalen.
Same Jalen, with the vibes. Hope you guys all had a great start to your new year. We're going to start off this year with some fun little information. Obviously, we're going to go into a little bit of a trailer talk. We're going to go over some of the things that have been going on over at WB, as well as maybe talking about Glass Onion a smidgen. Just kidding. We're not. But we are. Anyways, we're going to get this off started with my longtime friends and co-hosts, Keoni McKeague, Jared Shirai, Jalen Holsten. Say what's up. Wish them a happy new year.
Sappy fuckers. Happy New Year.
Hello. Happy New Year. I would like 2023 to fucking chill. Okay. This is not the greatest start, but we're going. We're going right along here. Chill. Leave Hawkeye alone. My God.
Gotcha. Yes.
Yes. Jesus.
I know.
We'll use that as the first talking point. Actually, Jeremy Renner, the actor who plays Hawkeye from the MCU, around the start of the new year, was reportedly helping out someone who was kind of stuck in the snow, used his snowplow to assist another civilian. I think over near his Tahoe home. So it was a little snowy, definitely with the seasons up there. And reportedly was ran over by his snowplow in some sort of fashion. It was kind of a critical condition, but he was stable. He went through, I think, a couple surgeries because it kind of impacted his torso as well as his legs and limbs. But he has recently posted things on his social media, just wishing everyone well, thanking them for the support. So just kind of throwing it over to you guys. I'll start off with you, Jalen, because we obviously do not live in a snow area. Mm-hmm. How did these things kind of happen? Because I'm assuming it is something relevant. I'm just saying.
Come on.
I mean, it can definitely happen. Like I imagine he didn't leave it in a spot that was very like even footed. So like if you decided to help somebody out of a ditch with a snowplow, which I assume is kind of how that kind of transpires, right? If you don't park it the right way, it can slide off and then kind of tumble on you, that kind of stuff. Obviously not paying attention to like how quickly you're accelerating and decelerating, that kind of thing. So I mean, it's very, very easily can happen, especially when things are slick out there. So wasn't surprising given the location of where and when it happened to Mr. Renner, but I'm glad he's okay. As far as I know, all things are good as far as his recovery is going, because we need more Hawkeye, OG Hawkeye, I should say, for Kate Bishop in the future, obviously being that mentor figure. So yeah. You know,
I'll throw this over to you, Jared. Given this condition, and obviously we don't know exactly what the extent of his, I guess, current contract timeline is in the MCU, what they have currently planned for the character of Hawkeye. What do you think is the possible of him not really, or they're going to have to adjust their kind of scripts with him in it, just because he is more of an active role, obviously physically active in his performances. Do you think they're going to have to kind of rearrange things, or are we looking at maybe they're just going to wait until he's fully recovered and see what he feels?
I feel like with timelines, it depends on where they want to like let everything go and when the movies are actually supposed to come out. So if they can get him and wait for him, I mean, I think they'll ideally do that. But I mean, stunt doubles are a real thing, so all the things that he can't do, and he can voice over whatever they need to do. Probably get shots of him if they need to, as far as like from the back, from the side, where you don't really got to look at the character. And I mean, it really depends on what his actual like physical timeline comes down to.
Yeah.
I mean, if they can put him in roles and change things up where he doesn't have to do as many action scenes, because like Jalen said, he's supposed to be mentoring to the next generation. That might actually help play into it, in the fact of that he doesn't have to do as much in that aspect. So, I mean, yeah, I hope that we get to see more of him. I mean, I love watching him in all his movies, not just the Marvel movies. I think he's a great actor. So, I mean, just speedy recovery and get him back in the scene.
Keoni, before we kind of move on to the next topic, kind of on the more outlier possibility, Do you think this also could be a turning point where maybe Jeremy Renner opts out of his contract and asks them, hey, you know what? I don't think I want to return due to what has just happened to me. Given we don't know what his recovery will be, what the rehab looks like, if he's ever going to actually be able to like run at a full sprint or anything like that. Do you think there is a distinct possibility that he may just say, hey, guys, I'm done, unless you need me sitting in a chair for the rest of the time I'm in the MCU or anything like that?
I don't think so. I mean, I could see if it was more of it's a traumatic event, I guess, because obviously he was hurt in it. But I could see it being, if it was more of like a bigger traumatic event where, you know, he was like driving his car and got into like a major crash or something like that. I don't think he was scarred too bad emotionally from this. I feel like he seems pretty upbeat about it when he talks about it, and he's pretty like high in spirits. So I don't think that it would be something that would keep him from wanting to take on Hawkeye again in the future. I mean, he's a strong dude. I mean, he's got like a strong mental, you know, mentally he's always been the kind of person. I mean, when you take on a role like Hawkeye, when you're, I mean, at the time he was a pretty hot actor in, you know, all of Hollywood. So, I mean, when you're taking on a smaller role in the MCU, considering you got, you know, all the mainstays who are on the top of the hero chain. They made the jokes about him on SNL and all those types of things. I think he's good. I think he'll bounce back and he'll get back into the role. I mean, he's talked forever about how much he loves the role and how much he loves just being a part of the MCU. So I don't think it's going to turn him away.
Yeah, I agree.
I think worst case scenario, I think worst case scenario, like they could probably, if he has to do shooting, they can just I would say flip the shootings around to where, like, when he's physically able to at least get up and move around a little bit, they can do the character scenes, right, where it's a lot of dialogue, that kind of stuff, and then save the more action stuff for if he does feel like he can kind of get back into doing some of the stunt work. And then obviously it's Hollywood, right? They got 800 stunt people. Stunt people are underappreciated and all that kind of stuff in Hollywood. So I'm sure finding more work for them is not bad.
Unless you're Jackie Chan.
Unless you're Jackie Chan. Those
You just need one Jackie Chan for that guy.
Right.
I mean, hey, there could be a distinct possibility. I mean, depending on how far Samuel L. Jackson is going to move on into the MCU. What if he's just kind of the ringleader for them? Rather, obviously, Sam will be kind of the boots on the ground captain in the field, kind of leading the group. But he could be someone who just decides to be, you know, I'll stay back at the base. I'll help conduct things from here. And it could be kind of an even way to work him in if he doesn't feel physically capable, and then just do scenes here and there. But other than that, you know,
because I'm not like he's super keen on his backstory, but if I'm not mistaken, he's kind of like a master strategist as well, right? Like he's not just
tactician to the
fullest.
That's why I mean, the first Avengers, he's up in the rafters, looking down,
overlooking
and assessing
everything,
the whole field. So,
but yeah, you know, our well wishes to him
from the command center.
Yeah,
right.
Well wishes to him. We hope him a speedy recovery, because we don't only just need more Hawkeye, we need more Jeremy Renner in our lives.
Yes. It's more time for you to watch our pod since you're always watching it, Jeremy. So
you're welcome.
You know, catch up.
You're welcome.
We love you, buddy. We'd love to have you whenever you're ready. You're good and ready.
So
you can watch the Sports One too, and let us know.
Just text me back whenever you're ready. You know.
Yeah, whenever you're ready, bro. Just text me back.
I hate being just left on red, but it's cool. It's cool, man. You know, I know you're a busy man.
Just go grab a beer or something.
No problem at all, Jerry Bear. You take care of yourself. Okay?
Jerry Bear.
Stop it, guys. Come on. Have some respect.
Wait, are we on that level yet where we can call him Jerry Bear?
Yeah.
But moving on, we're going to go into kind of a quick little trailer that has released recently. The Evil Dead Rises, which is, I guess you could say, kind of a sequel, remake of the original Evil Dead 2, as well as the Evil Dead remake back in the 2013, 14, 15, 16, those years. We all had a chance to look at the trailer. I'm going to throw it over to you first, Jalen. What did you think?
You're the horror aficionado here. I'm not.
But you saw it. I just want to know your thoughts. I want to know your thoughts.
All right. So here's the deal. I saw this white lady was cooking some eggs, but she didn't take the shells out of the omelet. So I'm not sure how edible that is in that circumstance. Saw some other guys in the trailer. It looks like there's some kind of book involved. some sorcery of some kind, a lot of blood, kind of par for the course. That makes sense. A lot of demonic breaking of the limb, crawling on the ceiling stuff. So yeah, it looked like a horror trailer. There was a chainsaw at the end, just because why not? I guess that's how you signify a character's badass, so they're going to fight something with a chainsaw.
It's Evil Dead.
I guess. I don't know. It looked like a great horror movie trailer. I will put it that way. The trailer itself, just not knowing anything about the property, that is a great horror movie trailer. There's stuff going on. I got questions.
So you never watched the originals with Bruce Campbell in it?
No.
No? Okay. Just curious.
Not one bit. But is this related to Ash versus the Evil Dead? Is that the whole bit? Okay, so I kind of loosely know that property just because I did a couple commissions and stuff for people.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it looks cool, man. I mean, if that's your shtick, this looks like it's gonna be right up your alley. It looked pretty intriguing. I bought into the characters and stuff. Whoever the actress is that's the main lead doing the demon thing, she's great. She's up there with
Sutherland.
She's crushing it, man. I was like, oh, gross. I don't like that at all. I don't gross. You need a shower. Okay. Anyway.
But yeah, I'll throw it over to you, Keoni. What did you think about the trailer?
No, and the only reason I knew the actress's name, she's from Vikings. So if you're a fan of Vikings, she played the queen in Vikings. So fantastic in that show as well. But yeah, I mean, in the trailer, she killed it as far as seeing the dimensions of her kind of slowly becoming more and more evil throughout the trailer. There was obviously the weird scene that Jay was just talking about, the egg cracking scene. I mean, you're starting off with that. You already know that this is only going to get more and more twisted. I unfortunately found the Red Band trailer, so it was a little bit more gory and a little bit more, over the top. Yes, definitely. If this is your thing, this will probably be great for you. I did watch the Evil Dead movies when I was young. Thanks, Dad. It was lots of
just holding Keoni's face.
It's lots of great nightmares. But yeah,
your head, son.
I mean, like I said, I right now I'm at that point where I'm into more psychological, less just. But I do think that this has the potential to be one of those movies that I could get into. Am I going to rush to the theater to go see it? Probably not. This might be one of those wait and see when it's streaming type of deals, but for sure, this is your stick. I mean, go check it out. It looks like it's going to be fantastic if you're a horror aficionado. So
I do think it's pretty cool that a lot of horror movies, whether for better or for worse, still are somehow able to make things creative. I don't think thus far in a horror movie I've seen someone take a cheese grater to someone's flesh.
That was new for me.
Right?
I was
right?
no.
Just watching it slap on her leg, I was already
immediately. I didn't like it. I felt it as it happened.
I felt it.
I like sliced cheese. Not great.
Yeah. Nope.
Can't ever eat mozzarella again.
Keoni brought up the previous movies. Were you ever growing up watching those? Were you a fan of those at all? Did you see them at all?
I didn't
Were they in
see
color?
them. Bitch.
Come on. I was trying to phrase it perfectly without.
I don't want to
go in there.
I'm just saying
New Year's, same.
Happy New Year to you too.
Jay did it for the first one for the year, so
Keoni was thinking it. I felt
2022 is when I stopped.
I expected it from Nolan. I expected it from Keoni.
Damn right.
It's a horror movie now. You stab me in the back.
I'm sorry.
Nah, I was waiting it for one of the three of you. Not even gonna lie. One of the three of you had to have brought it. But yes, it was in color. No, I did not see it. But I did like horror movies, kind of like Keoni. Nowadays, I kind of like that, the psychological part of movies and seeing everything like that. Although when you live with Henry loves horror movies, so I've been watching whenever we're up late, we get home from coaching, we throw on a movie, grab a couple drinks, right, and we're just fucking watching it. It's all horror. I feel like this is a movie that Henry is actually really going to like. But for me, I'm not a horror aficionado in that aspect. So, but the trailer,
really
I will 100% agree with Jay that the trailer was well done. If I was still into like watching a lot of horror movies, I by far would probably be one of those to rush to the theater just based off of the fact of what I saw. I mean, it kind of got you like it reeled you in with the eggs, like Keoni said, you know, and you just know it's going to get worse from there. And I'm kind of interested to see the red band trailer that you had, just because you said it is gorier and it's more twisted.
It is.
So I mean,
unfortunately, that's the one I found. I didn't see the one you guys saw. So
no, I guess you and I watched the same trailer. Then, there was plenty of
gore.
Snobs. There's a little tidal wave of blood. I don't know how much more red band you get.
No. I typed it in and I was just like, oh, first one, there you go, and that's all I did. But
I was just gonna say, I think it's fitting that the horror movie aficionado in the group is wearing like a black hoodie that makes him look kind of emo over there.
I'm so sorry
because tonight will be. I need a haircut. I get it. All right.
Has that not been a Halloween costume for you? Where you just go as like a
because that's
182
so like I don't know what to wear. I'm gonna be an emo kid.
Emo's not dead, bro. Have you not seen that whole?
I never said it was dead.
Catalog of YouTube videos.
LA has a lot of clubs that do like emo night, and they just like the DJ just spins like the early 2000s music.
Yeah, brother.
Nolan, you guys should go as BTS this year.
I have not listened to one BTS song, so that is false.
And JB. And...
I resent that.
You guys should go as any already? Asian group.
Any K-pop
Cast the
group.
Dragon Ball. Just
they look more white than they look Asian.
Don't say that. They're going to release another one of those Dragon Ball movies. Don't say that.
You're right.
They are.
We're going to cast that kid back again.
He's like, I'm back.
I'm Geku.
Geku.
Solid, I'm Geku, man.
Kamehameha.
Hey, Chichi, get over here.
Sup, Chichi? Looking
hey, Piccolo.
Today,
why are you so green? You feel all right, man?
Got it.
Anyways, before we go off on a crazy tangent, I did want to actually kind of follow it up because I know you guys were talking about more psychological thrillers, and I think that's been a bigger theme with a lot of low production budget horror movies that have been coming out, especially with like Jason Blum and the Blumhouse production company. He has been like shitting out excellence whenever he puts a movie out. The movie Megan just had its opening weekend, $12 million budget. It already made $45 million on opening weekend.
How does he do this? I don't understand,
know,
bro.
Right? We had Smile earlier this year that also had great marketing and crushed it and was making profit tenfold. Kind of want to open this up as just kind of whoever wants to answer. Do you think this is kind of like a resurgence for horror, or I mean for thriller horror genre, where we are seeing maybe more creatives taking the time and figuring out ways to do things with a lower budget because they're be able to more tedious, make things a little more what you don't see is what's making you scared the most, as opposed to blood, gore, flashes here and there, everything like that.
I would agree heavily, and I hope he can do the same for Spawn because he's still in.
Oh, is he still part
Todd
of it?
McFarlane? Yeah, that's still a thing. Apparently,
okay.
It's still in the works. So I'm hoping he can give us
That'd
a $12 million Spawn film that makes a bunch of money.
That would make a Spawn for $12 million.
It'll be at least like a 30-40 million.
It's like that's just for the CGI guy. Like
that's just for his suit to pop up.
Literally,
right. But yeah, I do think there is because I mean, like from recent memory, what is it the Superman one?
Brightburn.
Brightburn, fucking brilliant idea. Like you know what I mean? And they didn't ruin any of the they didn't run into like copyright issues either. Like they really kept it pretty boots to the ground horror movie, but like it's about a kid that is literally from another planet. And the entire movie, you know, they're just making a riff off of Superman's origin, but it goes in a really creative way. Or like, you know, there was the not Brightbirds or whatever the fuck. Who's the one with the they can't see or anything? Bird Box.
Bird Box.
Bird Box?
Bird Box.
Or Don't Breathe.
Or Don't Breathe. Right. So there's a lot of really, I think, interesting ones that have come out a lot over the last, 10 so years or so. So I would say there's definitely a resurgence for sure. Obviously, you had the It sequel. It's a known IP, but, having that get redone well and then followed up with another sequel to it that also did really, really well. So yeah, I think it's the time of your life right now, I would say, to be in the horror category, because we're out of that, like they're redoing the Freddy and Jason movies for 20 years, it seemed like we were in the early 2010s.
Yeah.
Every other year it was like, oh,
I mean,
Freddy
even
versus Jason.
Scream's coming back with sequels that are actually doing successful, which is kind of crazy. Same
Alien
IP
versus Predator.
Yeah, bro. Like Jesus.
I mean, like every like old school thing, they're just trying to resurgence, and yeah, I'm kind of with you on that.
Yeah, but Scream was done well. Finally, I agree with Nolan. That thing that you got the OG cast in there a little bit, and then just kind of sprinkled in some new stuff, and it was good. It was more of a refresh than like a whole continuation remake thing that they kept trying to do, and I think that's the difference now that I'm seeing personally is like
Halloween.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. They're not just like redoing the movie. It's like how are we closing chapters and actually like soft rebooting these franchises for years to come forward because people love them. It is what it is. People love them.
Absolutely. Any thoughts from you two, gents?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I was like, I agree. I agree with what he was saying. Yeah. When they do it, just make it good, and people will come. So
yes,
true.
Yeah.
I may end up at some point trying to go see Megan because I mean that apparently it looks like it's getting pretty good reviews for a
next week,
horror
guys.
movie.
Wait, you guys Megan. Like Chucky? If you don't like Chucky, don't see Megan.
That's what I got out of it. It's like, how do we update Chucky, the movie? Like, that's the...
With AI.
Yeah. AI,
yeah.
Perfect.
How do we up Chucky?
AI Chucky.
Chucky.
Detest Chucky.
Now we're going to go over to a topic that I know Jalen is very hyped for, and he's getting his throat ready to really let us hear it. So recently, there have been some reports that WB executives have thoughts of keeping Ezra Miller around as the Flash character. Obviously, the Flash movie has not yet come out. It is slated to come out, I believe, this July, 2023. And there have been some rumors, nothing that I've thus seen concretely confirmed, but just kind of things floating around the social media sphere that Ezra Miller looks like there's a good chance that he could be keeping his job at WB. And I'm going to preface this is going to be probably a reel for our social media. But Jalen Holsten, let me know your thoughts regarding this potential executive decision from WB. Warner Brothers. Go for it, sir.
Freaking morons, okay? That's how I'm going to start, okay? So we get this news, right? About mid-December. James Gunn going to head up DC, okay? A couple weeks earlier, Henry Cavill announces, hey, I'm sticking around as Superman because you just saw me in Black Adam and everybody was so excited. Then this asshole decides, I'm going to move forward with my vision and not hire back Henry Cavill. Okay. Whatever, dude. You got one big L on your roster. And now it has also come out that The Rock is salty as shit, so he's probably out. So that's two. All right. Somehow you thought keeping Wonder Woman on was a good idea after the travesty that was the third movie in that franchise. It hasn't been confirmed or denied, but still, the rumor's out there, which is crazy to me. We all know about Jason Momoa. Listen, we love you, Jason. We know that Poopy Bed Girl is not your fault for her being in the movie. That is what it is. We just got to take our L.
Poopy
go
Bed Girl.
If nothing else came out of that trial, do you understand how crazy you got to be to defecate in someone's bed and then try to blame it on someone else?
You damn right.
I'm sorry. That is a new level of psychosis that we need to put in the DSM. Jesus.
Girl. Oh, that was funny. All right, sorry.
So then some more time passes along, and this news comes out. So now James Gunn, you can say, was the WB execs, what the ever. How in God's name are you going to rationalize this man continuing as the Flash in your little new universe moving forward? I would love a presser and an informational seminar from James Gunn giving me a goddamn TED Talk on how this makes any sense. We're dropping Henry Cavill, but we're keeping Cuckoo Boy, who's kidnapped a child and broken into multiple homes in Hawaii. Whew. God, again, archiving all your tweets. You better hope to Christ I don't find a juicy one.
So I do want to add on that James Gunn has tweeted in response to someone asking him about Ezra Miller. And he's noted, because they also asked about how long his DC slate would be once he comes out with the information for what's going to be released. And he has tweeted, "I don't know what's out there about Ezra, but our slate is 8 to 10 years, and they will be announced soon." And that is not confirming nor necessarily denying that he has anything to do with Ezra Miller and their possible notion of him sticking around. So I don't know. Yes, I understand.
But there's no
what the
way he
qualms are.
cannot be possibly part of the notion. Yeah, I was like,
Why would you not nip it in the butt?
Because
I know,
it's
I was
WB. That's what I'm saying. They haven't announced anything that he's going to come back. We are just hearing rumors.
Immediately, it should have just been that person will never return for this universe because
unless
of what he's
they
done.
are keeping it for whatever's going to happen in the Flash.
That's what I'm saying.
Move forward with the
It
slate.
should have just been he would not return. Period.
Maybe he's not allowed to say anything yet because he doesn't know.
How can he not be allowed?
Not? He's the Kevin Feige, bro.
He doesn't know.
What do you mean? You think Kevin would be debating this shit? No, Kevin would have came out ahead of the presser and been like, "Nah, bro, you're cut. I'm sorry, never again." You're
Exactly.
out."
Exactly. There is no defending James Gunn playing aloof to this whole news.
No.
One, does he not own Twitter? He has a Twitter, so he can see all the damn news that's coming out. Literally just go Ezra. Boom. All those stories come out. Two, official or not, he himself can be like, this is what's happening with Ezra Miller. He will be in the Flash movie that's coming out because it's already done. He will not be continuing with the rest of the universe after this. That's it.
Or like, we don't have plans for him, like he said with Henry Cavill, which still doesn't make any sense.
That is fair.
Should have just cut it at the there should be no figuring out why or when this might happen because that's ridiculous. This guy's the head of creative for their entire thing moving forward. So if he doesn't know what's going on, then like I said, I'm even less excited for what the hell is going to come up because this boy can't even get a handle on one actor. How is he going to get a handle on the rest of this goddamn universe?
Meanwhile, the guy that I was shunned about and made fun of about running the CW has done a brilliant thing and brought back not only Stephen Amell for the last season of The Flash ever to be on television with Grant Gustin, he's also brought back John Diggle. That's called fan service, understanding what the fuck is going on in your universe. Holy shit!
I love Diggle.
It's crazy to me. But we want James Gunn because he's cute and trendy with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay.
He's cute and trendy.
So you think he's cute?
Fuck out of here.
Wait, so what we got from that is...
You think he's cute?
He's a good-looking guy. I'm not gonna... Good-looking guy. Good-looking guy. You're a fucking moron, but you're a good-looking guy. You know?
Well, we will have to see. Jared, what are your thoughts? I know they've had some takes. Go for it, sir.
I am 100% with them on this. I mean, I said it while Jalen went through his rant. It was the whole... if you don't know what the fuck is going on with your characters or with the people in your universe, then there's something fucking wrong with you, especially if you're head of creative. And for him not to just make any kind of statement, I mean, that's just the number one thing. You know,
no one else, James.
You're at the top, and everybody answers to you. Like literally, that's what it is. All the branches come to you, buddy. So if you don't know shit, then you better fire your whole fucking team. Like that's all it is. Like if you don't know something, then your fucking team isn't doing anything. Isn't doing your job. And especially when it comes down to like the maintaining of the social media, the maintaining of what you're trying to portray in your universe and what you're supporting. If you're supporting Ezra Miller and the things that he's done, then you're a fucking idiot. Like, plain and simple. And so in that regard, I mean, for him not to know, that's just like a bunch of bullshit, in my opinion. And there's no better way to put it. And so he needs to address it. Like, it's got to be one of those things where, hey, even if I don't know about it, now that I did do my research and I know about it, I need to do something about this because we're not going to support drug addiction. We're not going to support kidnapping people. We're not going to support all this other bullshit that he's doing. People? And I mean, we kidnap you, but it's okay.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
No,
Wrong
Like, we do not support.
Sorry, I was just watching season 2 of you. So I'm joking.
Just so we're clear.
And I'm joking.
Good Lord.
I'm joking about kidnapping Nolan. Yeah.
Sometimes
No,
I
but
forget
yeah,
we have
I mean,
a podcast,
like,
so nobody sees our faces, so they just hear what he said, and nobody's reactions are there. So I was like, let's clear it
We're
up
all
on
just-
the pod.
Yes.
Not a fan.
But yeah, for me, I'm with Jay. I'm with Keoni.
Not a fan of
I
felonies.
mean,
No.
Yeah.
Kevin, if he was being, I mean, we always compare him to Kevin Feige, and I mean, it's tough because he's done such a great thing for Marvel, and this is a different universe. But I mean, God, if it's somebody who's that successful and knows how to run his shit, like you kind of want to take things from it. You know what I mean? And
I mean, at
that's
this point,
one
we can't
thing
even
that
give him
you think you should.
You can't even give him the Feige excuse of being spread too thin because nothing's happened yet. It's like
No.
you're starting
doing
from
nothing.
scratch. So this is your moment right here. Like I mean, at least with Feige, we can kind of be like, She-Hulk was a thing. Miss Marvel was also a thing. But you had so much going on.
Listen, you were technically in She-Hulk too. So.
Yeah, you're right.
This summer.
So you went there to shoot it. So you didn't do any oversight to that entire show, Kevin? You know?
That's neither here nor
did.
there. We're not
He
talking
did.
about
He was
that
there.
today.
Anyway. But yeah,
All right,
it's just crazy. It's crazy to me because like he didn't like you said, starting from scratch. Like you didn't have to fucking start from scratch. It literally just needed a little bit of shimmering
have to.
and shandering. Like
You don't have to do anything technically.
like the cast was already there. All you had to do was kind of just get us back on track a little bit. Just get in the right direction. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just
Give it a
kinda
little
get
nudge.
in the right direction.
That's what it is. Give it a little nudge.
And I think had the Snyder Cut not came out and existed and somewhat leveled out the surface of what that universe is supposed to be, we'd have a very different conversation.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
unfortunately,
That's a
that
really good
movie
point.
exists. That
And
trilogy
made
is now
pe-
complete.
And I agree that I would have loved to have seen that
Like-
universe now
Yeah.
that I had seen
That's
Justice
a
League
very
Zack
good
Snyder.
point.
Correct.
Yeah, very,
It would have been a
very good point,
different
yeah.
story. And
We
maybe
might have been
W-
like, oh, yeah, fire everybody because, you know.
That's why
Yeah.
WB has so many different heads now, because that last kind of triage of
Damn it, I'm going to go watch it after
Executive.
this. Freaking
Same.
A.
Probably.
Just got me back
4
on there. I
hours.
want to watch
You
it.
got this, buddy.
Well, it cemented a lot of things. It ironed out a lot of kinks from Batman vs Superman and Man of Steel, and it
Little more
led us into a
explanation.
very open direction for where all these franchises can go. That's what that movie was supposed to do originally when Zack Snyder really made it, came out, and now that it exists, they're trying to treat it like it's not canon and all this stuff instead of the inverse, which is acknowledge it, run off of that, because there's a lot of momentum that happened. It's not just the Snyderverse people. It's just that movie was good. So why would you not
Damn
continue
right.
to build these pillars with The Rock and obviously you got to put Grant Gustin in there instead of Ezra Miller. That's just a clear and obvious choice. But these properties and things that he had going were good. Those ideas were great.
So let me ask you guys a follow-up question. I don't think he would, but if James Gunn went over to Zack Snyder and say, hey, we're starting off this new universe, would you be willing to come out and help out with this property and do this, maybe direct this movie and give him explain thoroughly, this is what we're looking for, not just kind of giving him free reign for his shooting his movie? Because I think that might have been a little bit why there was such an issue when he did leave the Justice League project, because he was kind of the one laying out the story for what that DCEU was supposed to be. Do you think that Zack Snyder would be interested, and would you like to see him come back for a directorial role in one of the movies or properties?
I don't know if he would or really should.
I don't think
to
he
be
would either,
honest.
but-
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think he would either.
Twofold. I, as a fan of his, I wouldn't want him to, because of how
It's true.
Justice League was. You know what I
Just
mean?
give that big old...
Yeah, big old flip of the bird, man. No, if you're gonna hire me back, hire me back to finish my universe that I made for you guys.
Well, I was saying, not to mention, they just got rid of Henry Cavill, so it's how are you really going to bring
That
him
too,
back?
yeah.
And, have him
There's no
recast?
shot
Yeah.
he comes back without
Yeah.
Henry. No shot, guaranteed.
Well said.
But-
Well said. Any other rants? Ready? No?
Nah, I think I had my. I think we all had our
That was
moments.
the most passionate I've seen Jared in a while. So
Just no!
The most I think I swore on the pod. Sorry.
I know. I was about to say, I'm like, damn.
We got a censor button. It's fine. See, it's all good.
Let me.
All right. Well, moving on. Last thing we want to hit is something that is available for everyone to kind of watch and enjoy is the movie Glass Onion, a Knives Out movie universe, I guess you can call it. Before we kind of get into the movie itself, this was one of the movies that Netflix actually started with a short theater release that was able to profit about, or revenue brought in about $300 million prior to releasing it on Netflix, rather than just straight to streaming.
Funny, I thought I saw it released in theaters, and
they were testing it out.
Okay, gotcha.
And so it did actually make money. And obviously, we all know Netflix is all about what can bring in new subscribers, not so much who is keeping subscribers around. And this was able to be kind of their little test, their little experiment, and they were able to make money now rather than just rely on people signing up for their streaming service so that they can get viewers and everything like that. Because viewers don't actually bring in any money.
Tell them to stop canceling good shows. Damn it.
I know, right? Because that's them. That's them.
I was like, I continue watching it. You didn't cancel all my freaking favorite shows.
Well, hopefully other streaming services pick them up. But do you think this is going to be a model that Netflix is going to start using more and more often for actually big IPs, such as the Knives Out? Because they shelled out about 400 and something million just for the production budget and casting contracts for the next two movies that they plan. So they already did the Glass Onion, and they're already starting on writing for the third one. Now they're kind of seeing a little bit more of that money coming back to them rather than just seeing people from the subscriptions. Do you think this is going to be a longevity kind of run that they'll keep doing? Or is it just more of like, hey, we're going to pick and choose when we're doing this?
I mean, depending on the property, they definitely should. I mean, how many times have we seen something on there that we're like, damn, I wish I got to see this in the theater. Like, this would have been a fantastic theater movie. So personally, yeah, I mean, if they do go with that idea, I mean, there are a lot of people who still don't subscribe to any services.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of people still, have cable TV and still do all that shtick and still, like for me personally, I think that you still cater to the people who will subscribe to Netflix, and also you get, a newer audience. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about the dollar bill, right? I mean, they're going to get it from two different revenue streams. So, I mean, personally, I would love to see it. I didn't even know it was in the theater. If I knew it was in the theater, I probably would have went to watch it. So, yeah.
I think 100% this is that transition of Netflix moving from streaming or from the whole like online rental to streaming and now into a production company. I think like Keoni said, though, I don't think it's going to be like other production companies where they're just going to make everything come out in theaters. It's going to be like, we know this is a guaranteed IP. We know we can probably get X amount if we do a limited release, because again, it's about actually getting that profit back and not relying on subscribers. So I do think as long as the IP lines up, like if they said they wanted to do a Witcher movie, for example, like I guarantee you we could probably get, let's say
fantastic idea.
All things were right with the world, right? And Henry hadn't left yet and all that kind of stuff back when it was like red hot, right? If they said they wanted to do a Witcher movie, I guarantee that's probably a one they would probably do a limited theater release with and make some money.
Mm-hmm.
Because I agree, there's been some that come out on there. I'm like, God damn,
Old Guard, technically Extraction probably could have been a theater movie.
I would have seen Old Guard, Extraction. Mm-hmm. What was the Ryan Reynolds one? It was a Michael
Underground,
Bay joint.
Red Notice with Dwayne Johnson and everything. That definitely would have been a theater movie, even though it didn't do that great.
Yeah, it was a Michael Bay joint, so you go see it anyway. You know what I mean? He does big picture movies. He knows how to make boom booms and
That's one of those I'll wait for, like like the Tuesday cheaper movie days,
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
The theater tickets and everything like that.
Yeah, but absolutely though, I think this was step one in them, like you said, in their little experiment of moving forward with that being more of their model.
And it builds a bigger draw because you're going to get more critic acclaim first. You're going to have word of mouth from people who go to the theater who maybe not necessarily are keen on seeing a specific movie, but maybe they want to do a little date night. Like, hey, this movie's out. Let's go watch it. Looks like a fun movie. They like it. They tell their friends, tell their family. All of a sudden, you have more people willing to go out and watch the movie. And then if not, hey, at least you're going to know that you're going to get more viewership for when it comes out on Netflix. And I think that's it's much better kind of offset as opposed to the day and date release where it's like, we're going to release it in theaters and on streaming at the same time, because who the hell is going to go to a theater and pay $20 at like an expensive one for urban areas as opposed to sitting at home in the comfort of your own home with surround sound?
Question.
Yes.
Would you guys go to a theater?
Yes.
For Stranger Things season 5,
yes.
for like the first, let's say they want to do like a first 3-episode block.
Yeah.
And pay like $30. It's going to be.
It's so funny you said this because I was just about to say.
Because I was like, yo, that would be kind of sick.
I was like, certain shows.
And you go watch the rest at home, you know what I'm
even
saying?
certain shows.
Shows.
I would. Like, I was just
Right?
gonna say the
I would
same
be
thing.
more interested.
I would.
Oh, no, that would be the right thing to do.
100%.
Because, I mean,
I would.
logistically, yeah, the first 2 or 3 episodes would be perfect, but I would probably rather go in and see it on the last 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah,
but that's
yeah.
just because
Either way, you want to do it.
Yeah.
Either way.
But I mean,
100%.
I could see people being like, "Oh, I have to sit at home and watch all this before I go out to the theater. I don't have time to do that. I can rather just do it in one sitting or whatever."
Not to
it may
mention
be.
the reactions with everyone around. Oh,
It'd be so great.
I love
you
that.
know that theater's packed,
Yeah.
bro.
Oh, yeah.
You know that theater's packed. It's
Oh,
gonna be
yeah.
rowdy.
100%.
There's no empty seats, man.
I'm gonna be sitting
know.
next to at least one Demogorgon, like
At least one.
just like fully dressed. Like,
buzzhead girls just sitting there.
Oh no. But yeah, man, I hope that. And also, is it like I think for them Oscar contending stuff, I feel like that helps cases if they get a
Yes,
movie that
they have to.
feel,
They have
right?
to have a theatrical release or something.
So maybe there's
in
that
limited
element
screens
too.
at least. I think.
like
Because
Bird
they had
Box.
several bangers that should have been that could have been Oscar, but because it's still this. The Oscars to me needs to grow up a little bit and
for
kind of
real.
get with the times. Like we
Let
have
people
brilliant
assault. Let
streaming-
them.
No, what?
I'm kidding. I'm giving them a smack. You never had discipline when you were a kid? Come on.
What I meant to say was that we live in an age where we have these amazing productions and actors are also getting with the times and readjusting their contracts, right? Like there's amazing, I feel, Oscar quality films that don't go out into the theater and get snubbed from the Oscars because they didn't have the traditional theater release and all this stuff. And I feel like that really needs to go away. But if they're going to move to this format, hey, you get a banger with like, Will Smith or something. I don't know. Like imagine that movie had like the day and day thing. You know what I mean? Like,
I actually wonder if a lot of production companies or streaming services, if they decide to do this, if they're going to be more willing to announce the theatrical release after everything is kind of in pre-production. Because realistically, they could, I mean, not to be sneaky, but they could get all their actors contracted. None of them would be willing or know that they could do like, let me get revenue 5% to the first dollar or whatever it may be per ticket sold. And then they release, and then all of a sudden, all that revenue is purely the production companies. They don't have to look at like, oh, Tom Cruise starred in our movie, and now we have to give him $65 million because we made this much in the box office. And as opposed to, I mean, it wouldn't probably be the most honest thing, but I probably wouldn't be surprised if they tried to do that more often.
I don't think they will after the Black Widow fiasco. You know what I mean? Like after that whole bit with Scarlett Jo and like,
But I mean,
that's what Disney tried to do.
But those
They
contracts
locked
were
her
already
in,
written with her expecting a theatrical release.
Correct. And then they flipped the script on. Like
Yeah.
I'm saying you're saying the inverse, but I think after that whole debacle, I don't think any actor after that is going to be. They'll probably be more weary to it, and if it did, it'd be cause a huge. I think it would cost the studio more money because they'd have to end up lawyering up against the actor, being like, "Hey, bro, no,
that's true.
Give me my,
That's true.
give me my check." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, maybe because it is Netflix, or if it was HBO Max or Amazon, they would be more willing to let them know up front. Hey, we are going to do a theatrical release, but we're going to be this is your pay. We're not going to try to do any of these kind of you get the percentage from the tickets or anything like that.
It's funny because I just realized that Disney's kind of been doing that same deal with that whole release it in theater and then for like a short amount of time and then send it over to the streaming service, because the last few kind of animated films that they had did the exact same thing. Like maybe like a month in the theaters, if even that, and then immediately straight to the streaming service. Like, I mean, I don't know if that's.
But they've got that
because they don't do
contracted
well.
up though.
Yeah.
No, they've got that contracted up.
Yeah,
like
for
Black
sure.
Panther, what was it, November something?
I think it comes out in February now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
It's
like
gonna be
the
released
last
actual-
3 months.
It was, it was like November, and then they did their run, and now it's out in February. Like I think it's all contracted, and because they're doing it theater first, actors can still get access to that box office revenue plus whatever streaming shit. I don't know how any of that works for actors now. I'm sure they get something.
They gotta.
If they don't, it's a crime.
Yeah, I was like, if not, we just exposed something very bad about that.
Whoopsies.
You heard it here first. I'm Poi N Soy, everybody.
Next thing you know, Mickey.
But yeah, we'll kind of going off of that. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Keep your mouth shut, okay?
Execution style.
Yeah.
Get
him!
Get it now!
What? You just see like a hand come in, like
the Mickey hand, just like.
All right, before we go off the rails on this one,
new movie idea. They had the Winnie the Pooh one. It's just like
no.
What are they? The Fab Five for Disney? It's just like that's the name of the horror movie.
Let's not taint Disney that much more. So yeah, we kind of rolling off of the information we talked about, obviously with the theatrical release and then going on to streaming. The movie Glass Onion did come out. It's been out for a few weeks now. Our good friend Jalen has not yet seen it, so we're gonna probably spoil some things for him in a way. Oh, we don't have to spoil it. We'll let him watch it. You know, we'll keep it. We'll keep it.
I'll throw it on. I'll throw it on sometime.
It's definitely not a good watch. Yeah, you can review it without spoiling. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But yeah, this is the sequel to Knives Out, where it is Benoit Blanc, the detective, joining a group of friends and solving a murder on an island. I think I like these type of sequels more because it is a brand new, fresh crew, and you don't have to be like know anything regarding. Like you can watch this movie first if you've never seen Knives Out, and you would not be lost in the slightest. Oh, you haven't seen? Did you watch?
No,
it?
I saw this first, and I was like, "Oh, I guess I should watch Knives Out now," because I never watched Knives Out. Yeah,
gotcha. Definitely kind of similar to like Murder on the Orient Express and Death on the Nile, where it's just the detective moving on to a new group of friends or whatever it may be, and figuring out what the murder is. So I'll kind of throw it over to you first, Jared. What did you think of Glass Onion?
I loved it. It's so funny because you have like I saw the first one, I saw Knives Out, and I thought that cast was just great. And then you come to this movie, and then you see the cast that they picked up, and it's even better. You know, trying really hard not to spoil the movie for Jalen, just because. But I would say I like we talked about with in the past with the horror part of things. These are the kind of movies that I like to watch. I like to see what happens. You know, I like to see how things unfold. Like try to guess who it is and everything, and just the way that everything develops. Like from that first scene when they get the box to the very end when everything is revealed.
I want one of those so bad.
It's just the box. Yeah,
I've been.
Jalen,
I told Bianca. I told Bianca
10 minutes, and
I told Bianca to buy me one of those. You know those like the puzzle boxes that like start off and it's just like just a box, and you have to try to figure out where it opens up and stuff.
You guys have
How do I open
Hellraiser? Maybe let's not get any sort of puzzle boxes.
Could be a demon in there.
Could release the hounds of hell.
I totally told her to buy me one for Christmas. I was like, just buy me one.
Yeah.
But they're like $500 if you get like a really good one.
No, they're pricey.
Once you know how to open it, you're like, what am I supposed to do now?
Nah, just be like that.
You can't put it back together, that's for sure.
That's gonna be Keoni. He's gonna be raging.
Woo! Yeah, just smashing my boxes.
I did it.
It's gonna be
$500.
It's gonna be on his Twitch stream. It's gonna be on his Twitch stream. He's gonna be like, "Oh,
could you imagine that?
Watch me solve it." And then like, okay, my camera broke.
Welcome to rage puzzling.
In the future, if it is something that you can put back together, you just like your kids like disobeying you, you put their phone in it.
100%.
Go ahead, get it. Dad, I'm 5.
Don't care, son. We're gonna win to lose.
Yep.
Think about that one for a minute.
No, I 100% love this movie though. I would watch it over and over again.
Sorry.
Oh, Jalen.
We're gonna win to lose. Shout out to the Texans. Am I right?
But really, though, man, that was so stupid.
Anyways. Knives out.
Any more thoughts, Star Jared?
I'm good.
Good. Keoni, I'll throw it over to you.
I mean, just like without spoiling it, I mean, it's fantastic. I mean, I think that the cast was really good. Obviously, got Edward Norton in there. I mean, he did really fantastic in his role. Gosh, I always forget his name. What is James Bond's name? Daniel Radcliffe. No, it's Daniel Radcliffe.
That's Harry Potter, buddy.
Yeah, Daniel Craig.
Really juiced up Harry Potter. My God. If that guy Voldemort would have been done in like 2 seconds of that guy.
Daniel Craig, I mean, you did fantastic. I think in general, it made me that much more curious to see Knives Out, which I did. Fantastic also. So, I mean, these are the types of movies I'm really into. I'm really into these types. Jared said it already, like the ones where you have to try to figure out who it is and you're constantly kind of questioning yourself. I mean, we just watched another show very similar to that. Bianca and I were kind of like both going back and forth debating who we think it's like, the head of this thing or whatever. And yeah, I mean, it just makes it more fun when there's like a mystery that you're solving along with the movie and it's not so obvious right off the rip. I think that makes it so much better. I mean, twists and turns, I love them overall. I mean,
twist.
Yeah, exactly. This was definitely one of those movies. I mean, give it a watch. It's a fun watch. It's not, nothing crazy. It's not anything, that I think is going to win an Oscar or anything, but I think it was fantastic. Great movie.
I agree. Definitely more exciting to watch these types of movies where it's you don't know or you don't expect how it's going to end, and you know that there's going to be that kind of big reveal that they have. And I think that this movie had a specific trope with the character that played by Janelle Monáe. There was a specific trope that could have gone very badly and made this look like a very cheesy kind of cop out. But I think the way they played it was very, very smart and kind of kept things a little more fresh. It didn't really reveal who the killer may be or what the real kind of behind the scenes plan was, and it kept things going.
Shout out again to Batista, man. My boy.
Hell yes.
I was going to say, I was waiting.
I'm so excited to see his M. Night Shyamalan movie. Like,
yes.
Like
that. A knock at the cabin door or something like that.
He looks like he's been doing so good in all of his movies. I said it before and I'll say it again. The best actor to come from wrestling to acting. Like, I think he's done the best at having such diverse roles and killing every single version. Like, it's hard to get past the fact that he's just a massive dude, but the fact that he can constantly kind of morph his character into somebody that you're part like realizing he's a big dude, but you're also like just riding with the fact that he plays his character so well. You don't have to have all the damn Rock tropes in all your damn movies. You know what I mean? You don't need to be kicking people across the damn.
You're telling me Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson isn't the best actor?
Well, let me tell you, buddy. Did you guys hear about that one? This was like years ago that he went into WB and like straight up said, "I want to play Bane in Batman."
Oh,
would you be interested now that he's kind of polished up his acting much more if they bring him in?
Hell, yeah.
I want to see a Matt Reeves version of what Bane is with Batista. Because I feel like if we did the tradition, he's just in the mask and doing the Hulk out thing.
Because he's supposed to be able to outsmart Batman. And
there's a lot to Bane. Yeah. Especially from League of Assassins and
I would love to see the intelligent version of just really get Batista in intelligent version of Bane.
I feel like Bane's Tom Hardy was just on the doorstep of that when he played Bane, because it wasn't necessarily that he was outsmarting him, but he had a set plan.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really the back and forth. And then whenever they met, it was just I break your back.
Yeah.
You molded by it. Strawberries.
Strawberries.
And that's the thing. It became more of a meme. When we got further away from the movie versus this fantastic performance.
Snozberries taste like snozberries.
So yeah,
but
I think
welcome
and
to
Matt
the
Reeves,
Rock.
though, like that universe that he made, like you could do a Bane in that universe.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
That
Very
absolutely.
down to earth Bane, like he's roided out or some crazy shit. I don't
Get
know.
him. He doesn't even need to be roided out. Just show up like how he is right now.
Yeah.
Just boy is just massive.
But yeah, other than that, definitely check out Glass Onion. It's definitely a good movie for you guys to watch. I think if if you're with your family or with your significant other, it's definitely something that you guys will both enjoy. I think this definitely can appeal to anyone who watches it, even kids who want to watch it. I don't think there's anything
Super random. Do you guys
overly-
pause like while you're watching it? Like
only
right
if I
before a
use the
big
restroom.
Oh, let's say right before any big reveals. I feel like me and Bianca do that a lot, where we pause and we're just like, "Wait, what do you think's gonna happen right now?" And then we're kind of like, talk about it. Then we watch it. We're like, we're wrong.
Usually it's more of like, I
Pause
go,
to use the bathroom.
and then Nicole will go, she killed him. And I was like,
I pause to use the
wait.
bathroom unless it's like a really boring movie. Then I'm like, oh, just tell me if something exciting happens. Literally, I'll walk away.
Or
and
when
I'm
they're
not-
like,
not
"Oh my
care.
god, did they just do that?" I was like, "I don't know. I'm watching this for the first time with you. I don't know.
She's a questioner. Oh no.
I don't know. No, she's not. I have friends who do that. I'm like,
Friends
"Bro,
don't do
this
that.
is my first time watching this with you."
No, but what's his name? I was like, they haven't said it yet.
It is
So
kind of getting to that point where
don't know what his name is.
Nicole will actually go like, "Oh, who? Like, wait, I know this actor," and I'll be like, "Oh, it's Dave Bautista. He was in this and this and this and this." She's like, "Thank you. That's all I needed to know." Who is that actor? That's Ethan Hawke. He showed up for 1 minute, and now he's doing this.
No,
and this.
Bianca has explained to me that she just talks out loud. So if she ever questions it, like I just ignore it because it's like don't answer it because she's asking kind of rhetorically in a sense. Like,
Keoni, did you have the toilet seat up again? Huh?
Oh, that was the
you're
real.
talking-
Oh, you weren't rhetorical.
you want-
no,
you want me to
I'm
ask?
sorry.
You peed so hard it splashed out.
Sorry, Bianca.
Oh no. Oh no.
Anyways,
Wow.
definitely give it a watch. Next week, and I'm giving this a deadline for you, Jalen. Next week, we are going to be talking about the show Kaleidoscope on Netflix. You can watch it in any order, as they say in their little intro trailer,
As we have,
and it
or
will make sense to you. And it just kind of gives you different perspectives on everything. So make sure you watch it. We'll talk about that next time.
We totally could have just talked about it.
I mean, right now it's time wise. We'll go for the next.
I got you.
We'll
I
move
got
it
you, I
along.
got you.
We got a game show to get to.
That we do.
Hell yeah! This will come out after the game show.
Actually, that's a great segue. No, this will come out before the game show because technically this was last week's episode.
Oh, your dad's was the one that you released for this.
That was AA for last week. This is PC for last week. So technically this would come out before the game show. But
You're right.
actually, that's a great way to segue into the fact that we just talked about Glass Onion. That's a great segue, Nolan, into the fact that you will now have a chance to win a $100 Amazon gift card. Not you guys here, sorry.
We're talking
Not
about
for-
you,
Not
the
for
people.
you. You, the people out there,
Yes.
will get the chance to win a $100 Amazon gift card. And the theme of this year's game that you will get to the chance to play along with, starting with our AA episode coming out on Tuesday, is Clue. So,
Boom.
for those who have played Clue, for those who know what Clue is about, 3 different answers that you must have. One of them will be on our podcast, another will be on our Instagram, and the third will be in our YouTube video. So,
It was Colonel Mustard in the ballroom with the lead pipe.
son of a bitch, I need to change the
If
answer.
you didn't see Clue, I think you guys can watch Clue on. I think it's either on Netflix or it might be on Amazon.
The movie Clue.
Like the actual movie, it's freaking hilarious.
Old
Like
school.
I'll watch it every now and then. So just
There's
saying.
also
Any of the
fun,
answers,
something
Barack
Clue
Obama.
phrases in Glass Onion.
No.
Have we talked about Barack Obama on any of these?
No, we
My
haven't.
fellow Americans.
No, we
Oh,
haven't.
we just did.
Not once.
But we
But we will.
thrive.
And we should. Because we as Americans, we got to come together right now.
Shot Town, stand up.
Chi-Town, stand up. Represent.
Anyways, gentlemen, let them know where they can find you. Jared.
On Instagram and Twitch at Shirai, where we'll be streaming a little later, playing some Warzone, JSHIRAI, and on Twitter, Shirai808.
And Sir Jalen.
You can find me on Twitter at Jalen Holsten, Instagram at art by Jalen, and Twitch at Mogathanos_LGG. Probably going to be streaming some Monster Hunter and or Division. So, yeah, come on in there.
You played the Division?
Division 2. Blah.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
I just got it like last weekend, and I, boosted and got a whole bunch of shit. So if we want to,
I gotta download
up.
it again.
Oh, I gotta re-download it.
Squad up and get into some Dark Zone action, boys.
I think I'm about to re-download it.
Damn.
I'm about to turn on.
It's so funny. I was just talking to Shalimar about that, and he really wanted to play it again too. So, anyway,
I'm posting.
this is where the end of the podcast.
Anyway, sorry, yeah.
Anyway,
Keoni, let them know where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch at Keoni. That's KAYOHKNEE. We'll either be playing the Division or Warzone too. So let's do this thing.
Hey, brother.
Let's go.
And you guys can find me at Nolan KYT on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. Once again, we appreciate you guys and your viewership. I hope you guys are off to a great start to this 2023 year, and I hope for nothing but prosperity for all of you and health. Thank you guys for making us a part of your day. We enjoyed having you be a part of ours. From all of us here at Poi N Soy, vibes and love, everybody.
Bang, bang.
Fire being done for the love of God.